Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. Now I thought that this is important to show you. This is my plate, which is pretty dirty. I didn't clean it after the last session, so I'm going to show you how to clean this. And this is dish detergent. You can use any brand that you want. This just happened to be in the kitchen. And here's a spray bottle. And what I'm going to do is just put a few drops, I'd say a teaspoon, not too much, in the spray bottle filled with water. And this is warm water. I think warm water works better than cold water. And just give it a nice coating. Saturate your plate with the soapy water. Okay. And then let it sit for a while, sit for a few minutes. So what happens is the warm soapy water interacts with the acrylic paint and makes it soft, softens it and loosens it. And then I have here a scrubby, a nylon sponge, and just go in circular motion. And the paint just comes right off. And this paint actually is a day old because I didn't clean it last night. I was just so tired. There we go. And I'm also careful to clean off the edges of the plate because that's where all the paint tends to accumulate. Okay. Then I rinse my sponge and get rid of the soapy mess. And I have here a microfiber rag, which I find very good to use. You can use an old t-shirt or any scrap fabric that you have at home. I prefer using fabric to paper towels because the paper towels tend to fall apart. And a rag is much better. Okay, so now that that's done, I don't know if you can see this on camera, there's very faint traces of the Posca marker that I had used in the other video. So if the stains bother you, what I use is some baby oil. Any brand will do. You don't need to put too much. I'd say a tablespoon. And just rub it into the plate. And this conditions your plate. Because you have to remember the Gelli Plate is made of mineral oil, and after so many uses with cleaning and wiping, the oil content gets reduced, and I think it causes the paper to stick and tear. So by putting oil, you're kind of conditioning the plate again to be supple. Now, as I'm rubbing with my fingers, you don't have to use your fingers. You can use a rag or a cotton ball if you would rather not get the oil on your hands. I don't mind because it's good for my skin, because I'm always washing. You put oil even on the edges. And let me show you. I'm going to use, here, this is some tissue paper. I'm going to show you how much stuff is left behind by the Posca marker. See all that? Let's see how much is left. There we go. So that's a very quick demo on how to clean the plate. It's good to do this ever so often, especially if you print as many times as I do. It's a good practice to keep your plate clean and oiled, so you'll always be ready for the next printing session. So anyway, once I have this out of the way, let me start with a new project. Okay, now that the plate is conditioned, it's been cleaned and oiled, I'm going to start with a first layer, and I will use, this is rose madder. This is turquoise. Here's some manganese blue. And let me just, this is a little clogged up. I'm sure this happens to you as well, especially when you haven't used the paint for a while. Okay, use some olive green. And just for contrast, I will put a little bit of cadmium orange. So this is a kind of an odd mix. Let me start with the cadmium orange. Then on to the red. So this is in stark contrast to the other pieces that I'm doing, which are very structured and very choreographed. This is very freeform. Again, I am using my watercolor paper. I will be using the textured side. Alright, so I will leave this on for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Let's see how we made out. Wow. Picked up almost everything. Looks like an impressionist painting. Now that is the benefit of oiling the plate, that the paper comes away very easily without fighting you. So we'll set this aside to dry and figure out the next step. Okay, here we are at the next step. I've decided to do a split fountain again. This is Naples yellow. I will do a Naples yellow in the middle. And then some raw sienna on the outer edges. Now I'm just going to take a wider brayer, this 4-inch one, and kind of smooth it out, because this is a heavy application of paint. This kind of flattens things out. Okay. Now I think this layer is going to be very opaque. I don't think it will be showing what's underneath, but that's okay. This is just for contrast. So I want it to contrast with a very dark background. So here is the first pool with the darker values. I'm pressing really hard because I want all of the paint to transfer as much as possible. Okay, so we'll let this dry for 5 minutes. And in the meantime, here are some more featured artists in response to my open call. So sit back and enjoy. Very intense contrast, which that was what I was after. And because the plate was recently oiled, it comes off very clean. Very cool. So I'm going to air dry this, and I will contemplate a third layer and see what happens. Okay, ready for the third layer. This is Nova Color. It's called Nacreous White. It's pearlescent white. And it is a translucent paint, so it's a little more watery than normal. And because of that, I will use a brush to apply it into the open areas. So since this is a stiff bristle brush, it leaves a lot of brush marks, and I want to take advantage of the brush marks, that they give a lot of texture and interest. Okay. I didn't need the abrayer after all. Okay, let me just put this in the sink. Okay, so here is the second pull. Again, I will leave this for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, let's see what we got here. Very painterly. In fact, I'm going to show you the close-up right now. So the texture of the cold press watercolor gives an added dimension. Gives this kind of almost like a pointillist, impressionist effect. So there you have it. I hope you liked this video. Please share this with your friends. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions or know of any tips and tricks. Please do so our other viewers will notice them. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and thank you for the wonderful artists who have submitted their photos of their artwork to share with everyone. Thank you, and I will see you next time.